Alright, multiple MAGA influencers have come out over the past 24 hours straight up sounding the alarm to their MAGA fan base about dire early voting signs. And I do want to clarify, we still have to get out, vote, mobilize. Early voting is likely available in your state, so take advantage of that and let me know if you voted in the comment section below. Also, early voting isn't always indicative. Most of the time, it's not indicative of how the final results are, but what is indicative, what can be indicative, are the words of MAGA influencers running the Get Out the Vote scheme for Donald Trump. For example, Charlie Kirk was tasked with getting out the vote in Arizona and Pennsylvania, and he, in a recent video, said, things are not going too well. So with 5 days to go, we have no time to waste. Make sure you drop a like. Triple check to make sure you're subscribed. We're trying to hit 1 million subscribers, and we can only do that with your help. So this article reads, disaster. MAGA influencers panic over early voting sign. MAGA influencers are freaking out over the early turnout numbers for women voters in the presidential election, according to a report. And then Donald Trump held a rally just 30 minutes ago and doubled down on his wild remarks about women, but we'll get to that. Two of the most prominent right-wing influencers sounded the alarm to Donald Trump supporters that massive early turnout by women voters who tend to prefer VP Harris in polls could doom the former president's chances for re-election. Quote, male turnout in Pennsylvania for Trump has been a disaster, tweeted Mike Cernovich, a political commentator, right-wing influencer, and conspiracy theorist. Quote, unless this changes, Kamala Harris takes PA and it's over. And then, Turning Point USA President Charlie Kirk, who Cernovich called, quote, one of the most significant get-out-the-vote activists in the country, had also issued the same alert. Quote, early vote has been disproportionately female. Kirk posted on Wednesday, if men stay home, Kamala is president. It's that simple. And let's go to this post that he said. Early vote has been disproportionately female. If men stay home, Kamala is president. It is that simple, writes Charlie Kirk. He then followed that up with some misogyny in that very tweet. If you want a vision of the future if you don't vote, imagine Kamala's cackling voice forever. Men need to get out and vote. Imagine complaining that women disproportionately vote for Kamala Harris and that could lose Trump the election, and then incorporating misogyny into the same post, saying that VP Harris's laugh is annoying. And we'll break down Trump's rally in just 1 second, but this article continues. A Politico analysis of early vote data showed a 10-point gender gap in battleground states, with women casting 55% of the ballots so far, and nationwide data compiled by NBC News showed that 54% of the roughly 58 million mail-in and in-person votes already cast came from women. And again, that doesn't mean that Kamala is going to win. That doesn't mean it's going to be some landslide. It's going to be very close. In fact, Trump is still the slight favorite, but this is a good sign. Quote, in some states, women are actually exceeding their vote share from 2020, which is what at this point is shocking to me. I would have never bet on that, said a Democratic strategist. Now, Cernovich praised Trump's strategy of trying to attract younger male voters, but that could backfire if the younger male voters don't actually turn out to, vote, do the main thing that you have to do. Here's Charlie Kirk complaining that women may be voting differently than their husbands, and Megyn Kelly agreeing with him. This is some dystopian, weird stuff.
And she needs people to basically lie to their husbands, which they are promoting, by the way, which I find that entire advertising campaign so repulsive. It is so disastrous. It is just like
I'll show it in a minute.
It is the embodiment of the downfall of the American family. I think it's so gross. I think it's so just nauseating where this wife is wearing you'll show it, wearing the American hat. She's coming in with her sweet husband who probably works his tail off to make sure that she can go, and have a nice life and provides for the family. And then she lies to him saying, oh yeah, I'm going to vote for Trump. And then she votes for Kamala Harris as her little secret in the voting booth. Kamala Harris and her team believe that there will be millions of women that undermine their husbands. And do so in a way that it's not detectable in the polling.
Charlie Kirk is angry that women have agency in their lives. Charlie Kirk is angry that women would dare vote in an opposite way as their husband, dare go against their husband's word in a 2024. Just absolutely insane stuff, and really gives you some insight into the man that is running Trump's Get Out the Vote scheme. Let's compare this to the way that Tim Walz is speaking about women today. I mean, he speaks like a real man.
I have to say, this feeling of women right now in this, every age and every party, here's what's going to happen on Tuesday. They are going to send a loud and clear message to Donald Trump on November 5th. They're going to send that message whether he likes it or not.
Notice how he's speaking about American women like they actually have agency and that their vote could actually matter rather than some pawn to make their husband happy, like Charlie Kirk was saying.
Kamala says we're not going back, and we're not. I'm here today on behalf of the Vice President. I'm here on behalf of folks across this country, humbly asking for your vote.
Everybody is hyped up in Pennsylvania today. He's in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. At the same time, here is some CNN information showing the early voting in states by gender. So in Arizona, 52% women to 46% men. In Nevada, 50% women to 48%. That's a 2-point gap. Pennsylvania, 56% women to 44%. That is a 12-point gap. In Georgia, we have another 12-point gap, 56% to 44%. In North Carolina, 55% to 45%. That is a 10-point gap. In Michigan, 55% to 45%. Women are outvoting men every step of the way. And meanwhile, Trump War Room is posting, just absolutely clutching their pearls, saying, disgusting. Top Kamala surrogate Mark Cuban says no, quote, strong, intelligent women support President Trump. They're now openly attacking the millions of strong, intelligent women fighting alongside President Trump every day to make America great again. The funny thing is, the Kamala Rapid Response Team fact-checked this by saying, quote, another lie from the Trump campaign. He never said that no strong women support Trump. He said, quote, Donald Trump, you never see that man around strong, intelligent women, meaning he doesn't place women in his cabinet that could maybe outshine the men because he doesn't believe in women. He doesn't believe women should deserve the same role. Maybe they can be a press secretary or an assistant, maybe, in Donald Trump's world. So, Trump War Room is again clutching their pearls. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is speaking like this at his rallies.
But nothing is more dangerous than to give immense power to a weak and not very smart person, just not a smart person.
Is that a rare moment of self-reflection from Donald Trump? Listen to what he says. Nothing's more dangerous than giving immense power to a not very smart person.
But nothing is more dangerous than to give immense power to a weak and not very smart person, just not a smart person. We need smart. In fact, I call for it, but I would love to have it. We should have cognitive tests for anybody that runs for president and vice president.
This dude refuses to either take the cognitive test, take the physical exam, or even release them.
Oh, how about that guy she picked for vice president? What a loser. What a loser that one is.
Yeah, Donald Trump is clearly losing his spark. In this clip, he just takes a shot at J.D. Vance straight up. Well, he means to take a shot at Tim Walz, but it basically bounces off Tim Walz and hits J.D. Vance right in the head.
Oh, how about that guy she picked for vice president? What a loser. What a loser that one is. I mean, that guy, could you imagine? Well, she picked somebody so bad that there is a certain rule. Make them really bad and they'll never take you out, right?
He's floating this conspiracy theory that he's been talking about for a while that I think Tucker Carlson convinced him of, is that if you pick a very, very bad vice president or a vice president that's worse than you, then they won't want to assassinate you because the person that replaces you will be even worse. I guess that explains why he picked J.D. Vance. Right here, he calls VP Harris a cracker. I don't know. He says she's exhausted.
She's a total train wreck. And by the way, I looked at her this morning. She had a little news conference. It lasted for like 2 minutes. She's exhausted, you know? She's exhausted. She's a train wreck who is totally unqualified to be the president of the United States of America. There are some people who thrive under pressure, and there are some people who crack under pressure. She's a cracker. And the more pressure Kamala has, the more you see it happening. No, she's cracked.
I like how he's losing his mind so much that he can't even stop himself from saying her name right. He has to actively try to mispronounce her name. Listen.
Pressure Kamala has, the more you see it happening. No, she's cracked.
He said it right there, and then he says it wrong earlier in the clip. Here's a clip of Kristi Noem on Fox News, and man, Fox News treats MAGA governors like North Korea treats Kim Jong-un at this point.
The McDonald's situation, Main Street media lost their minds over it. It was extraordinarily effective in terms of clicks, social media, young people, all of the things that it generated. And then, of course, the garbage truck, just another stroke of genius. I'm not sure who's coming up with all of these, but someone's getting a bonus, I'm sure.
These are things my 5-year-old cousin could have come up with. I mean, Trump's entire platform my 5-year-old cousin could have come up with. Why don't you have him go in a big garbage truck? How about McDonald's? I love chicken nuggets from McDonald's. How about we build a big wall around the border? Just absolutely infantile view of the world that Trump has. And I want to play this clip, but first, I always like to check 538 since we are 5 days out. Not to worry you guys, but just so we know what we're dealing with. Right now, it is still an absolute coin flip. They run 1,000 simulations based on the best polling, based on economic data, based on demographic shifts, and it shows Trump winning 51 times out of 100, Harris winning 48 times out of 100. They actually run it 1,000 times, but they simplify it right there. And if we scroll down to the map, we can click on states like Michigan. It shows VP Harris wins Michigan 59 times out of 100. That makes me feel a little bit better. Wisconsin. Harris wins Wisconsin 56 times out of 100. Still basically a coin flip. At this point, let's check Pennsylvania. Trump is favored in Pennsylvania ever so slightly. Finally, Georgia. Trump wins Georgia most of the time in their simulations, but 37 times out of 100, that's still a very high chance. That's the chance that Trump had going into Election Day in 2016. That means it happens 1 in 3 times. VP Harris wins Georgia 1 in 3 times, which is absolutely possible. I think Biden even had worse odds last election. Let me show you this clip of Donald Trump 2 days ago, ending his speech early without taking a single question, even though he told everybody he would, turning around awkwardly, and then just standing there.
Thank you.
Now I have to mute it because he starts playing Young Man or YMCA, but he turns around and just stands there, shakes some hands, and walks off, even though he was just saying before this he was going to take questions. Here is Donald Trump saying that Kamala Harris is straight up a bad person. Then he wonders why young MAGA teens wield machetes at voting stations.
She's a bad person because anybody that lies like that, knowing that it's a lie, just put it out. Just have to tell you because you have to understand it. When you see it, at least this way you know it. You know, a lot of people say, sir, don't go down in the gutter with her. I said, well, how will people know she's lying if I don't say the truth, right?
It hurts my head that I have to debunk his gaslighting so much. Sir, don't go down in the gutter with her. Donald Trump entered American politics chanting, lock her up to Hillary Clinton, before Kamala Harris ever even smacked the national stage of politics. Donald Trump was using his incendiary rhetoric back in 2011, back in 2010 about Obama, when Kamala Harris was still making her way up the ranks of power. And now Donald Trump is acting like she's the one to going down in the gutter. It's absolutely disgusting. Here's Donald Trump talking about the ACA after saying that he wouldn't repeal it, but now he's saying it sucks in this clip.
They want to end Obamacare and take away your health care. That's a lie. It's a lie. If we come up with something better, that'll be great. And everybody wants that because Obamacare sort of sucks.
He says Obamacare sort of sucks. Maybe we can come up with something better. Dude, you've had a decade to come up with something better. You even tried to repeal Obamacare many times and failed. And then he went on a tantrum following Kamala Harris's press conference this morning. He said, Lion Kamala is giving a news conference now saying that I want to end the Affordable Care Act. I never mentioned doing that. Never even thought about such a thing. Never even thought about it. You tried it multiple times and you just said you want to replace it right here in this clip. If you guys appreciate my videos, if you enjoy what I do, drop a like. Make sure you subscribe so we can inch towards 1 million subscribers. Have a great rest of your day and peace out.